Hey everybody, Mike Iaconelli back out here in the shop, and we have another amazing new rigging technique for you today. And in today's shop, we're going to be talking about the sliding weight rig. The sliding weight rig. The cool thing about this setup is so easy to make this rig, and best of all, it gives your soft plastics a very unique action. If you've watched my other shops, you know that I'm big on the bait's movement, how it moves left and right, how it undulates, how it has motion in the water. Well, with this sliding weight technique, you're going to be able to take a soft plastic, give it a new rigging method, a new way to rig the weight, and you're going to see a different action on the bottom. You know, that little difference is big in fishing nowadays, right? Think about how many people are fishing. Think about how many new people are out there. You go to your favorite lake on a Saturday. There's 20 dudes out there fishing a Texas rig, traditional Texas rig. There's 20 dudes fishing a Carolina rig. You pull up with the sliding weight system, it presents the bait a little differently, a little different movement, and you get more bites. This is what this system's all about. We're going to go over the system. We're going to show you the components. We're going to show you how to rig it. Last but not least, I'm going to show you how to fish it, and it's going to help you hopefully catch more fish. Keep in mind, as you watch this video, all the products and components used, they're going to be listed right down there in the link, so make sure you check that out. Okay, the sliding weight rig, super simple. Let's start with the hook. The great thing about the hook, just use any hook you're already using. Specifically, we're going to be using this with offset hooks. Okay, so when we're Texas rigging plastics, this is where this sliding weight system is really going to come into play. So traditional round bend, perfect. EWG style offset hook, perfect. So hook style, pretty versatile, right? So you already use the hook you're using. You don't need a special hook. For me, it really performs best with a 1/0 to up around a 4/0 hook. As you start getting bigger than 4/0, it becomes a little more difficult to rig this sliding weight. But the hooks you're already using, that's going to work. Next thing we need is a drop shot style weight. Drop shot style weight. You can use just your regular clip style drop shot weights, or if you have some of the newer opened eye drop shot weights, that makes it real easy. Okay, so drop shot style weights that have the open eye on them, and there's a lot of good ones out there on the market. As far as drop shot weight style, I really prefer the teardrop style or the cylinder style, the long cylinder styles. And you're going to see as I rig this why that longer teardrop or cylinder style drop shot weight really helps this bait get the movement. Okay, so open eye drop shot weight is perfect for it. And then last but not least, we need a stop. We need a rubber stop that's going to keep this sliding weight in place. A lot of options here, guys, for the stops that you use. You can use a regular sinker stop. This is the large size VMC Sinker Stop. You could also use the VMC crossover cap, which is like a little rubber cap. Or there's a lot of ones out there that are called bait stops or bait keepers. So any rubber stop that has 2 holes on either end is going to be perfect for this technique. Once again, size-wise on these rubber stops, use the medium to large size stop because it's going to be easier when we're rigging this technique, okay? All right. This is the part where rigging this is so simple, yet it creates something that is so different, okay? Last but not least, let me mention the plastics. The great thing about this sliding weight technique, you can use it on any of your soft plastics, any of them, from tubes to worms to creatures. But I really, really prefer this with straight tail worms or soft stick baits or crawl style baits, beaver or crawl style baits. Either of those two categories, straight style tail worms, beavers or crawls, it's excellent on it. But you can use this on any soft plastic. So sky's the limit, okay? We're going to get our hook. And just for this video, this happens to be a 3/0 EWG offset hook. We're going to get our soft plastic. And we're going to rig our soft plastic Texas style, but we're not going to complete the rigging. Okay, so here we go. This is a 5-inch Berkley Berkley General. I'm going to do a normal Texas rig, 1/8 of an inch in, pop it out. I'm going to slide it all the way around the eye of that hook, and I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to leave that open for now, and this is when the bait stops, those rubber stops really come into play. We're going to get these little rubber stops, and I want to put 2 on this hook. I'm going to add my first one, and the great thing about these rubber stops, if you look at them, they've got a opening, right? Your bobber stops, you pull it off of that little cleat there, it's got an opening, and we're just going to push it over the eye of the hook and down here on the shank. And I like to slide it around all the way just to about where that hook starts to bend, okay? We're going to pull it all the way up there. Next, before we put our second stop on, we're going to get our opened eye drop shot weight. We're going to put that right over the hook, okay? Next, we're going to get our second stop. There's that little rubber stop. And we're going to put that one over the hook again. And this time, I'm going to slide it to where that bend starts, right in the gap of the hook, okay? Now we're going to finish our Texas rig, whatever bait we're using, creature, beaver, crawl, straight tail worm, or, in this case, a stick bait. And now we've got our sliding weight rig. The stops are big enough to keep that weight from sliding up or off the hook, but look at that motion of that weight. Remember, our line is right on the nose of the bait, so the weight doesn't interfere with the nose at all. The weight's sliding on the hook, okay? There's the rigging. Think of how easy that is, guys. All we used was the hooks you're already using, the soft plastics you're already using. We're using the drop shot weights you already have in your box. The only thing you have to get is those rubber stops, okay? Now let me talk to you about how I'm going to fish it and why this sliding weight rig is so unique, okay? It's so unique because it lets this bait do different things on the fall and on the retrieve, both ways. On the fall, look at that weight, right? Look at that weight. Think about when that bait hits, how it's falling. With a weight that's nose controlled, it wants to totally nosedive it, right? It's going nose first. But on a sliding weight rig, when you make that cast, dude, that weight is sliding. A lot of times it's pulling it down or in the middle, and that bait is falling almost like a wacky rig. Not nose down, but horizontally. So different action on the fall, especially on a crawl or a soft stick bait. Imagine that crawl being pulled down this way. You're going to get a very unique falling action versus a nose weight that just pulls it down. Once it hits the bottom, using your regular Texas rig techniques, just like you're fishing a Texas rig worm, just like you're fishing a jig, that dragging, stopping technique, think about that weight and how it moves along the bottom and kicks up silt, not from the nose, but from the body of the bait. Super, super key. And as I drag that bait, that weight's sliding, and every time that weight slides, that bait shifts. The bait itself shifts. Not through my rod, not through me shaking or twitching, just through dragging. Look, that weight shifting, and every time that weight shifts, the bait shifts. side to side. It creates a very unique crawling, almost left-right wobbling motion as you drag that bait along the bottom. Best of all, as you drag this bait, the weight's doing something unique, the action's unique, but here it goes. You ready? When that fish bites it, he bites all hook. There's no weight to get in the way. The weight is below the hook, so it takes the weight out of the way, and you actually get a better hookup percentage. Really unique action on the fall. Really unique action as you drag it on the bottom. Think of that almost crawling motion, right? And one last thing this thing does, it's got a little sound because that weight is sliding along the shank of that hook, and it's actually creating just a little bit of noise, just like a bait fish, just like a crawfish. Very unique action. This is the sliding weight rig. So easy to do. Components you already have in your box. Use it with any soft plastic on a Texas rig, and you're going to catch more fish. I hope you like this shop. This is a sliding weight rig. Listen to me. If you like what you're hearing, this is unique stuff. Hit that subscribe button down there. Subscribe to my channel. If you're already a subscriber, tell your friends about Mike Iaconelli Fishing on YouTube. We have a brand new video dropping every single week. Try this sliding weight rig, especially when there's a lot of boats around you. You're going to get a few more bites.